episode of the Silver Screen Show on LB24tv. Thanks for joining us this Saturday evening. It's been a while actually, so we got lots to catch up on, but quick introduction to the panel. Mo, as usual, joining us. And back from her wild adventures out in Asia after like 7 months, Alenya. So,
hi.
Welcome back. But quick recap, where were you off to?
So I started in New Zealand, went to Australia, Thailand, Laos, Vietnam, Cambodia, Myanmar, Indonesia, Borneo, Singapore and Malaysia.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I'm disappointed you didn't go Bangladesh though.
I'm sorry, guys.
We're just down the road, man.
I was so close.
It's so close.
Next time.
I mean, Borneo with the orangutans and all the wildlife was calling me a little bit more.
Must be nice to come back to
We've
Shadow.
got a lot of wildlife there.
Bengal tigers, man.
Bengal tigers.
Next time.
Next time.
Well, yeah, it
exactly.
must be nice to come back to reality now and Shadow.
Well, I mean,
Reality.
Reality.
Obviously, it was imaginary where she went.
yeah, it does feel like a dream. I came back, I was like, did I leave? Because everything is the same. But
Well,
no, it was an amazing trip. And
now you're back.
No, good to have you back.
Yeah.
thank you.
Good that she actually did come up with you. Just we'll never see you again. But, nice to let you know I'm back and I want to come back on the show. So thanks for all that.
Definitely.
So let's kick off. It's been quite a while since the last show. So during Ramadan and stuff, and Eid Mubarak to everyone out there who was celebrating. So let's kick in. I think the top film of the show is Wonder Woman. I think this is like probably the biggest film that came out in the last few months. Who wants to have a crack at this?
Why doesn't? Alenya, why didn't you start?
Okay, thanks.
I don't think you have to explain the plot to Wonder Woman. I think people really probably know.
Yeah, no, I mean, if you haven't seen it, then she's an Amazonian.
Yes.
And she's on an island with all the other female Amazonians, and then you have Chris Pine who comes in and he breaks the spell a little bit surrounding the island.
Well, it just goes through a wall.
It just goes through the wall and then brings Germans in and they get into a big battle and she realises that she needs to go and help humanity, so she goes to get involved in the war. And I liked it. I really enjoyed it. I had
definitely.
a great time watching it. Her naivety surrounding the human race and saying, all men are good, and I was like, okay. it grinded on me.
So as a woman,
little
you got
bit.
a angle on that.
What are you trying to say? What are you trying to say?
I mean, if you're in the middle of a war and it should, kind of grind on you a little bit, and you should kind of decrease on that line of thought. But she was just kept on going at it, and it grinded on me a little bit. I was like, come on, girl, get with it. But yeah, other than that, it was great. I thought it was a bit of a combination of like Captain America's. Yes, we are humans and we are good, and everyone. Yeah, let's thank God.
The first Captain America for sure.
The first Avenger, and then a little bit of Thor, the kind of fish out of water. I don't know what I'm doing here. Those really awkward conversations that she has with Chris Pine.
Which is a good thing to me. I mean, they're both. I mean, first Avenger and Forward, decent films. It's nice to see that they took the best of both films. To be honest, kind of put it in this, which I think definitely is like the redeeming.
Yeah. I don't like comparing DC and Marvel.
Well,
inevitably you have to.
Yeah.
I thought this film was okay as well. I mean, going by what you're saying, there are some aspects in the film really, really good. The fact that, to even begin with, it's a origin film, unlike what Batman v Superman was, where they were putting in several characters together at the same time. Right?
He's the Flash. Where did he come from?
Exactly.
It's like.
Or Batman's origin film, right?
Yeah.
Putting Martha and all this together.
So go to Martha again.
This one, the good thing they did, Pat Jenkins, the director, did with this film was that she kept it a very simple plot, very similar to what Sam Raimi did with Spider-Man first film, where just have an ordinary guy, have him get some superpower, have him understand what that means, and then finish with a villain being destroyed. Very similar to this, like ordinary girl. Well, in her world, ordinary girl. She realizes she does have superpower in the sense that everyone else is not superpowered.
Yeah.
Then she
in relation to her.
Yeah, in relation to her, and then she tries and understand what that means and what she can do with it. So that I thought was a very good aspect of the film, because it takes a lot to have that restraint. If Wonder Woman has fantastic comic book stories with it.
They could have gone in
they could have
hardcore, and put everything, all the villains.
They could have gone very complicated ways,
Yeah.
and you can already see the end of the film where the main villain is a bit of a supernatural deity.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman is as well, anyway.
Mythology is pretty strong in this
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
Greek
You
mythology.
can already see that the
Yeah.
ending was the weakest part of the film, right?
Yeah.
Because they were delving too deep into the mythology of it, rather than keeping it simple.
I don't think the mythology was deep. I think the ending was just disappointing. It was a bit anticlimactic. It's just like
Yeah.
a generic, rah, rah, no, I'm gonna shoot my laser, shouldn't shoot her laser,
Yeah.
explosion, and like, was that it? It's like, come on, man. I expected a bit more than just a generic.
Just other than Michael Bay, what Michael
Yeah,
Bay
it's just
would
like
Yeah.
it just didn't really feel like an ending. It felt like okay. You know.
I appreciate that there was a bit of a fight between them. I quite like that. They really baited you into choosing the wrong conclusion, though, because you
What do you mean
thought
by that?
you thought that the German general throughout the whole thing,
Oh, right.
Oh, the plot,
the kind of twist
yeah.
at the end, they really baited you
Twist,
to make the wrong conclusion.
Just even then, I really wasn't bothered because I thought even all the villains I think were in the film were pretty weak. Doctor
Yeah.
Poison was just like, I'm evil. I'm like, okay, why?
Why?
I'm just evil.
Yeah,
I was
just
like,
why?
okay. And the random German lieutenant, he didn't really feel at any one point that he's serious, like a serious threat. Because Wonder Woman's like, you know, she's got descendant of like a god, so she's got next level power. This is just a generic lieutenant in an army. Like, there's no way he's gonna be any serious threat.
Exactly, yeah.
But I mean, I give one thing. I think Chris Pine and Gal Gadot, I think their interactions were pretty well done. I think that was the important thing. If like Chris Pine's character was it Steve Trevor,
Yeah.
not Steve Rogers, another similarity. Like if they two of them have a nice interaction, the film would feel a bit weaker than it would have been. I think. I mean, they did a good role of like not forcing down that she's a woman too much. I think. I wouldn't say like in the Battlefield they do say she's a woman at the beginning, but they don't constantly remind you, oh no, that's a woman.
Yeah.
That's a woman. Oh, it's a woman out there. Like,
That did surprise me actually, because if you think about the times that the movie is set, it would have been more of an issue.
I mean, they do say it a bit at the beginning, but after a
I
while.
think it must have been an issue, but they just didn't focus on it.
Yeah.
And I think that was a good
Yeah, I
decision.
think
That
that's
was a
good. Like,
good
they
way
didn't
of
constantly have
doing
to remind you, oh, she's a woman.
Yeah.
Oh, like they kind of said at the beginning, they made a few jokes out, oh, a woman in here.
Yeah.
But after a while, they just pretty much said, yeah, she's just out, she's a
Yeah.
brave soldier. And it went down that rather than forcing it down our throat
That
that,
was
she's a woman,
definitely
by the way. Do you get it? Like,
Yeah.
I think that's the director's.
was-
Very good decision.
Yeah.
I think that's the director's basically like, we don't want to constantly focus on that she's a woman because we
Yeah.
already know that that's not the point.
I agree that a simpler plot line, like if you do a simple plot line really well, it's better than doing something really complicated and doing it
Any
badly.
day, every day.
Every
Yeah.
single time.
Yeah, especially when you don't really have the material there to work with or the fan base yet to.
Yeah. I thought
Yeah.
one thing very good about the film was that this actually was a superhero film. And by that I mean they didn't go down the route of, oh, this is another ordinary girl with ordinary girl problems, so that the people, the audience, will be able to relate to it.
Yeah.
It's just
In
like,
the same way that DC did with the Supergirl TV series. I don't know if you guys have seen. She's got problems around makeup, what makeup to wear, like boyfriend problems.
a sitcom kind of.
Supergirl having
She is
that
Supergirl.
problem. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just mind blowing. I'm very happy they didn't go the same route.
Yeah,
with
this is
Wonder
literally
Woman.
like I got powers. I want to go and beat someone up. Like, fair
Yeah.
enough, cool.
Yeah.
We get it. So
I'm really glad that they did a Wonder Woman movie because by far, in my opinion, she was the best thing about Batman v Superman.
oh, there wasn't really much good about Batman v Superman,
Yeah.
so it's not
Well,
hard to stand out in.
It's not hard, but
But to be honest, yeah, I mean, I think Batman was the best part in that movie. Just to the few scenes he had, but Wonder Woman was definitely one of the other stronger
Even more than
parts.
Batman, I would say Ben Affleck was the best.
Oh
part
yeah,
of the
you know,
film.
Ben Affleck.
I thought,
yeah.
I thought Ben Affleck. Anyway, going back to Batman v Superman. I can't remember. We keep bringing that up.
can't escape.
Yeah.
No, nevertheless, I do agree. Wonder Woman was a good part of that film, but
Yeah.
I thought that was mainly because of the soundtrack rather than
The
Wonder
guitar,
Woman
yeah. It's a
herself.
bit. I don't really know where that really came from. Like, I don't know how electric guitars are associated with her. It's really
Yeah,
considering she's like a Greek, like Greek mythology and stuff. I don't know where this
you
electric.
imagine a harp or something.
Yeah, like Iron Man makes
but
sense to
that's
have
not
like
hardcore enough.
I mean, like, something
No,
like
of course, yeah. No, it's good that
It's
they
true.
have that soundtrack.
yeah.
But I thought the weakest part of the film was Gal Gadot herself. I'll be a bit controversial here, probably, but
Go ahead.
I thought no. I mean that in itself, there's
Yeah.
nothing more to it. I thought she's just not an actress. She just can't act. She started her life with modeling, and she looks to me like a model rather than an actress. The only reason she at least survived this part was because this part required a bit of naivete and what the hell is going on.
Yeah.
And she had that look the entire way through.
Well,
Not
this
because
is
she
her
wanted to,
Fine.
but because she just cannot act.
I mean,
She just
I
cannot
think
act.
this is her first big blockbuster movie, isn't it? I mean, she's
She's
been in the
done
Fast
Fast and
movies, but
Furious.
she was more of a support character. This is like
No,
first.
that's you can say the same
Yeah,
with
but she did nothing,
many other actors
Yeah.
and actresses.
Like I
They've
said,
all nailed the first parts.
Yeah.
Like
But it was gonna be tough though. Like, I mean, this is like her.
And this is not a tough acting role though. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
This is a very easy acting role.
Just kick ass.
But she just doesn't have the emotion in her voice. She doesn't have the emotion.
I have heard that from other people as well.
Yeah, she's got very strange. Nothing wrong with her. I'm just saying it doesn't fit the role that she's going for. Like how she. I remember one part where she was like bickering with her mother, and I just thought that looks so odd the way you acted. It's just like how a person would act in real life. Like how you know how things are different when you act on a film, and things are different how you do
it in real life.
And acting on a film is very different. And she did it very like I would do in real life, and that just doesn't follow through in a superhero film.
That does this wrong in one scene, like when she's arguing with her mother, like her mom's in the entire film. You will not go out there. No, you will not go out there. No, I will forbid you. Suddenly, okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Off you go.
Off you go. Bye. So it's like that was a bit weird.
Take these.
Yeah, take all of this stuff.
But I'd say quickly to just round things up. For me, I'd say, I enjoyed the action scenes, like the whole battle, the trench, the no man's land. That was a great scene.
Good scene.
And I see
that was a great scene.
And the whole no man's land thing, kind of see what they did there, with the whole play on the words and the whole one thing. Oh, smart. Well done. But I think the action was well done. All the fight scene, which is just jumping between buildings, and punching people through walls and stuff. That was done well.
And then when like Chris Pine and the others, so their group held up the big metal thing, shield, and the interaction between them while they were fighting, that was really good. I liked it.
I think Chris Pine was really good.
Yeah,
this guy deserves a lot more than he actually gets. He's like, I've seen a few. Have you seen Hell or High Water?
No.
Is it the one with the cowboy, set in Western, like Texas or something
two
like that?
guys robbing bank. That's I think Chris Pine's best film. And I wish he has a mustache all the time. He's got a mustache. He looks so classy in that film.
No, I like this character actually because I thought.
He definitely, for me, his charisma drove this film.
Of course, yeah.
His charisma drove this film. It wasn't Gal Gadot, the character we're following. It was Chris Pine, the character we're following. And how, like, Wonder Woman acts around average humans.
He definitely had a bit more of a change of heart. He had a bit more of a development.
He had a character development, right? He had a character development. That's so important in a film.
Yeah.
It's very important.
Whereas she, like, had all the hope, then she lost hope, and then she had hope again. And that's pretty much it.
Exactly. It's like... But yeah, so let's round it up. A quick review, 3-word review, if you have one. I don't know.
Alenya, you're welcome to first.
I think I'm gonna go with, like, as a all over DC. It's a start.
Yeah.
Start.
It's a start.
Oh, start.
Yeah.
Start.
It's a start. Yeah. For me, it's like about time DC they finally at least release something that isn't a shambles. Let's be honest. Yeah. It's a solid film. I rate it quite highly for 85% in that tier. But that's more because I like the action stuff in it.
Right.
For me, that's what pushed me rather than the whole character development. I preferred all the battle scenes, but it's my opinion.
It would be yay Pat Jenkins. That's my review because I'm a big fan of Pat Jenkins, and I thought she pulled it off fantastically.
I agree.
And she's the reason why the film did so well, not because of like the
and I think she made a great decision to constantly focus on the fact she's a woman. They kind of kept that subtle rather than.
It would be so easy to.
They could easily just push that message down our throat constantly, but.
Had it been Zack Snyder.
Or Sir Michael.
Did you know? I'm a woman. in fact, I'm Wonder Woman.
Don't worry, Sir Michael of Bay is coming up, so we will discuss him.
Oh God!
Right.
Did you know Michael Bay and Zack Snyder are classmates? They actually went to the same school in the same batch.
Right. We'll come on to Michael Bay's seat. Right. Unfortunately, that's probably the best things get. It's all gonna go downhill from now. Next film up, The Mummy. This is a film I actually had high expectations of because Tom Cruise usually picks good films, solid movies.
Is a good.
I mean, the Mission Impossible movies, Edge of Tomorrow, Jack Reacher. Was it Edge of Tomorrow?
Edge of Tomorrow.
But this got so many names, isn't it? So
Live, Die, Repeat.
Yeah. So I thought, So when I saw the trailers, I thought this looks like a. When I saw the trailer, this looks like a great movie, and like the original Mummy films with Brendan Fraser and the Imhotep, that was pretty. It was a fun movie.
That was good.
I thought, maybe I can see this going well. It came out and So this stars Tom Cruise, Sophia Boutella as the Mummy. He had Annabelle Wallis. I'm not too sure where she's from, but she played the love interest, and she was pretty I say love interest, but she's very weak. And Russell Crowe, who's actually a big plot point of this movie.
I don't.
So we'll get on to this
film.
Right. So storyline: Tom Cruise is he's like a military. He works in the military, but he works as a rogue military soldier. He goes and raids these temples and sells stuff on the black market.
He's a military by day and a thief by night.
So he's like a corrupt military guy. So that we follow him, and they awaken. They find the mummy. She awakens, and and madness occurs. So I'll kick off with this one, I suppose. What I think the main problem for this film is just they tried to put too much in this one film.
Okay.
He has 6 screenwriters, and you can tell there's the plots all over the place.
Yeah.
It's like if you watch the first Iron Man movie, and suddenly the whole middle chapter, Nick Fury randomly appears and just talks about the Avengers. And like Tony Stark's just in the background doing something. And this is what it is. It's like they kind of really try to sell this whole dark universe concept they have. So there's like a new cinematic universe they're planning with all the universal monsters like Bride of Frankenstein, Van Helsing. Yeah. So this is the only little thing, but they try so hard to sell this within a film, which like, it's the first.
You know
movie.
what they did? They did the same thing that Batman versus Superman did.
Yeah.
Like trying to put everything in there so that they can move on with the rest of the film.
Yeah, it's
That-
like
that's what killed this film.
You need to take your time. You need to
You
split
need
it
to build
up.
the
and
characters.
it's the
Yeah.
first film. You need this one has to be has to set the ball running. This has to hit the ground running basically and like be up there. Otherwise, it's gonna be hard to recover it. So I mean, let's say some good things if there were any.
Yeah.
My good points are when the scenes of the mummy appears is really cool. Like when she's stalking her in the water or in the graveyard. Those are great. When the mummy does appear. This is a disappointment.
When the mummy does appear.
Yeah, when she does appear. And
When she's walking the streets of London.
yeah, then
Yeah,
it disappears.
that's quite cool.
Yeah, and then the plane scene, I enjoyed that. I think that was really well done. The whole when they're crashing and you see.
I thought the first 20 minutes or so was really good.
I think
I was like, wow, why is this film getting such bad rep?
because
It's really good.
he's a great action hero. Like he really puts his effort into
Yeah.
it. So when I saw that, if the film stays on that trajectory and on that level of intensity, it should do it. But I think the film peaked at that plane scene.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
moment he woke up from the dead.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like,
and then you're like, I see where this is going.
So, anything else good to say about it? Let's go and let's start with the good things before we start.
I think, just to give a bit of context, like you're saying, this film is the start of a new film.
Dark Universe.
Yeah, it's called the Dark Universe. You've got big name characters like Johnny Depp, Tom Cruise,
Russell Crowe.
Javier Bardem.
Yeah.
Who else? Russell Crowe,
Crowe.
obviously, in there. And you can tell they're putting all their dollars in there just
Okay,
to make
that
this a big
explains a
film.
lot because I didn't know that going in. And so Russell Crowe's character really confused me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Like,
had
why
no
is he here for? Like,
No
what?
idea what he was
Exactly,
doing.
yeah.
Okay, that clears that up.
Yeah.
That was the reason. So Russell Crowe is
that's
the
a good
Nick
point
Fury.
now.
Russell Crowe is the Nick Fury of this universe.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like
Okay.
putting everyone together. He now knows Tom
Yeah.
Cruise is like a mummy, etc.
The thing is though, like, no one cares. It's like, I don't care.
It's-
Just show me the
no,
money and show me the action. I don't.
I'll tell you something.
Yeah.
The issue is not that no one cares. The issue is that they shoehorned it in a way that felt like they're force feeding us. Had it been more organically done, had it been more that Russell Crowe comes at the end of the film.
Like a post-credit scene.
Yeah, like a
Yeah.
post-credit, or like in the end,
That's
Russell Crowe comes out of nowhere. I'm just putting
Yeah.
something, right? Russell Crowe comes out of
Talking about
nowhere.
the Avengers Initiative or something like that.
Russell Crowe comes out of nowhere and he like saves the day, and then you get introduced to the war. There is so much more to this universe.
That's how I wrote in my review on the blog. Like, they could just put him in an end credit scene. That's all they needed.
Yeah.
They did not need to.
Yeah.
But the problem
it
is,
was an entertaining movie until the Russell
Basically,
Crowe
yeah.
scenes, right?
until they remove the mummy,
Until
they find a way in the plot to get kind of subdue her or capture her, and then she's like literally plays second fiddle to the film she stars in, which is a bit
Very
weird.
much so.
Yeah.
And they
that's
just go on
true.
this whole Russell Crowe, Tom Cruise. I don't even care about the actors' names. I call them Tom Cruise and
Yeah.
Russell Crowe, and they just focus on them for like a good 45 minutes, while the mum is captured in the background doing nothing. And I'm like,
Exactly, yeah.
I don't care about this. I just want to
So
see.
such a strange decision in narrative structure. Right at the moment when the mummy was getting she was getting agitated and trying to release herself, right? Such an important crux in the film.
Yeah.
And that's when they decide to show Russell Crowe as
Yeah, let's not spoil it too much, but yeah, he's like
Yeah.
revealed.
Yeah.
he's revealed, yeah. But I think everyone knows who Russell Crowe
Oh, it's in his
maybe-
character's
maybe
name,
not,
to be
yeah.
honest. Yeah.
Yeah, if you hear the character's name,
Yeah.
you'll know who he is.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's such strange narrative decision.
It's just like, come on, man. It's like,
Yeah, I wish there was more
Of
of
the
the
mummy.
mummy.
Yeah, that's
in
what-
this film.
In fact, she did a very good job. I
Sophia
thought she
Boutella,
was
she's
Sophia
great,
Boutella,
yeah.
I thought she was really good.
You know, she looks strangely similar to the actress who played Aung San Suu Kyi in the original Mummy films. You go back and look at it.
She does, yeah.
She
She
does.
does. You're right.
Because like
she does.
I think she's done great in Kingsman and even in Star
She was
Wars.
amazing
Oh, in Kingsman, she was
Oh, Star Wars,
incredible.
She was
and
just
Star
amazing.
Trek. I think she was the best part of Star Trek Beyond.
What
is
did
it?
she play?
J-Lo or something, right? The kick-ass rebel alien.
Oh, she
Oh,
was
the painted
white-
one.
Yeah,
Oh,
like so that was her as well.
yeah.
So
Oh, I
she's done
loved
some
it.
good stuff. It's kind of sad that they kind of
Yeah.
reduce her to nothing in this film, pretty
Yeah,
much.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
She could have done so much more with
yeah,
it.
like
just
physically,
looking at
she's
those,
like a lot more capable than just being captured.
yeah.
So
And then
I
having
think
the
one
life
thing
sucked out of her.
I'll definitely say about this film is this film was very, very miscast. It's probably one of
Yeah.
the worst casting decisions I've ever seen in a
Tom
film.
Cruise definitely
Tom Cruise
not.
doesn't
No.
fit. Tom Cruise is one of the best actors, best.
But this
action
isn't his
heroes.
kind of role, like
Yeah.
an arrogant, just a dislikable character. That's not.
No,
him,
it's more
I should
that.
say.
It's more that. No, he had the similar character in Edge of Tomorrow, right? He was a cowardly guy, arrogant.
But he kind of slowly became a hero in that film. Where this
Yeah,
is just like
there
he just
was-
stays the same.
Exactly.
Like
he had a
like
character development.
yeah.
In this film, Tom Cruise just didn't need to be there. He could have been. It could have been any other guy. To be honest, it would have been better with Brendan Fraser.
I think what
I
Tom
say
Cruise
that.
done is he's saved this film. I think, like box office wise, I think without Tom Cruise,
That
this
probably is
film
correct.
no
Yeah,
way
that
would have
probably is
made.
correct.
To,
Yeah.
It's made more. It's made up his budget now, so it's gonna get a sequel because just the fact it's got made
Yeah,
money.
the only reason I went to see this film was because of Tom Cruise.
Mm.
But then I was quite disappointed in his.
Well, I
decision.
really liked the original Mummy movie.
Yeah, it's a fun and Imhotep.
But the
was a G.
thing was, the reason that those original films worked was because it was a bit silly, it was a bit funny.
Yeah.
You
Also,
had
there
like
were- those
Brendan
films,
Fraser,
yeah.
Rachel Weisz, and you had what was the Iranian comedian who was in the first one as well?
Oh yeah. He was really funny. Wasn't
Yeah,
he?
he was
Is
great.
it Omar Jalili?
Omid Jalili.
Yes.
Was he around that time? I had a guess. Yeah, I assume
Yeah,
he
yeah,
looked
yeah.
like him.
And like you just had so many good things about that film, but it was always
Also-
light
But
and
it was
funny.
also surprisingly very like. Some of the scenes of like all the mummy scenes are pretty disturbing, like pretty dark, like people melt and stuff like that. If I recall,
Yeah.
Well,
And
the
like-
original.
yeah,
Yeah.
like, some of the mummy scenes are pretty intense, like people just dissolve and stuff like that. Whereas this is just
Yeah.
like,
It was all in this one. It was all set in the dark, and you're like, is something happening?
yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. Everything was very much in the dark.
And like the finale, like what I'm just about the finale is the whole London set piece is nothing. London appears in for like in the trailer, it appears like London with the final like
Yeah, you
battlefield.
imagine it was the final
Yeah.
battle.
It's literally like a 10-second cutscene of her walking
very
around.
much
Suddenly they go back to a random underground cave. I'm like, what?
That
was the point of the
very,
whole-
Yeah, I thought
Yeah.
that was very strange as well because I thought a film with this much budget.
Yeah.
Um,
Could afford to hire out London for a bit, you know?
Yeah.
It's like,
but now that I remember it, this film didn't actually have that big a budget. I think it's had a budget of 150 or 120 million, which is tiny compared to for
Transformers.
example, Transformers or Pirates of the Caribbean, which had 250 million of just production
Wow.
budget.
Oh, goes in a show.
So I think they knew they had a. I think that the Universal knew their audience wouldn't be hooked
Yeah.
in as much as they would be in other franchises. So they limited their
Mm.
budget financially. it
I think
wouldn't
even
make
they could have done a
sense.
bit more than just putting a generic underground cavern scene, which is
Yeah.
a bit disappointing.
Yeah, or don't bait us with such a scene in the
Yeah.
trailer.
Oh, yeah,
Because
exactly.
I thought, wow, we put a lot of like this big finale where she's like a big, massive
Walking
sandstorm.
through the
Yeah.
streets
Yeah.
like this, like I'm gonna take over
Yeah.
this. No.
You remember the first Mummy where they were flying the plane from in the desert and the Mummy had
Chasing them and
Yeah,
the
with the
mouth in the
sandstorm
sand
mouth.
wall.
How
yeah.
amazing was that,
was
right?
incredible.
That's brilliant, man.
I thought there would be something similar here, but it just wasn't.
I think one thing before we call this, and I just want to say how boring the lead actress was. Like, oh my,
That-
oh,
That
She was-
they
relationship,
had no,
Generic.
she had
There
no charisma. Like,
no chemistry between them at all.
and suddenly like
no
I-
chemistry at all.
It felt so forced.
she's like, and like she's like half his
I
age.
felt uncomfortable.
There's like
Yeah.
nothing to like. They don't even share any interest. Even there's
I
one
don't-
scene where they're talking to each other, and it's the time where he could say, you know, actually, do you care about you? No, I don't care about you. I only save you because I'm an evil. I just care about the money. And that's it. That should have been the end of that arc. But no, they carry on pushing this angle. Even
Not
like,
just that, Tom Cruise like dedicates himself to save. I'm not spoiling anything,
Yeah.
but he dedicates himself to save a girl he only
he
knew
doesn't care.
for.
Even though he said to her, I don't care about you.
3 or 4 days.
It. Oh,
Yeah,
it
very
was so
importantly, this film actually only
boring.
takes place
It's
in
so
a
boring.
course of 2 days.
Yeah.
Someone falling for someone so much so that give his life for her.
And she was a
very
one-night stand.
unrealistic.
There's not even like they had a long-term
No,
friendship
it
for.
really was a one-night stand.
There's literally just that's how she's introduced, and that's it. And like they didn't have any time to.
His friend, the Veil, the other soldier, pointless
I need to
character.
mention him. Like they really tried to force comedy in this, and
Yeah.
he was supposed to be comic relief.
he's,
Forced
his,
comedy.
is Jake Johnson. He's plays Nick Miller in New Girl, and he's great in that. Great in the TV series.
But-
I saw him. I was like, why is he here?
So for me,
It's like He's trying to be funny.
They saw
and it's just
Marvel,
not.
basically. They seen what Marvel's done,
so
and now
out of place.
Yeah,
He's like,
So out of place.
the comedy was forced, the romance was forced.
the comedy is
neither
so
of them
funny. He's like,
worked.
he's like, hey man, you killed me in the plane. I'm so pissed at you.
Yeah.
Hey man,
You tried to kill
That,
me.
killed me
that
3 times.
bathroom Scene.
Hey,
Oh my
I'm
God,
cursed,
it's so
really.
cringy.
He's just like not even
Yeah.
bothered. He's like, yo man, I'm cursed.
So
Look what happened to me.
deadpan.
I'm like, well, I'm trying to be funny. Is this like you're trying to be like sarcastic? He's like, you killed me on the plane. You know,
Yeah.
I'm cursed now. Look at me. I'm so annoyed at you. I'm like,
So
"Well,
odd.
are you really
Yeah.
annoyed or are
So
you?
odd.
And the makeup was just like him painted in blue. He didn't even bother like come on, you didn't have the budget to make him look at like a ghost. He's like, hey man, I'm cursed. How dare you? I was a bro, man. You're not my bro. I'm like, what is
What are
this?
you doing? Yeah.
What are you trying to do? And Tom Cruise like, what's happening? Like,
I really thought it was like genuine Tom Cruise.
Yeah,
I
he's
don't
like-
understand what's going on here.
I was bored. Bored with the
man,
comedy, bored with the
you
romance.
kill me on the plane. He's like, you tried to kill me, but I know, but we're
Why?
bros though. I'm like, Alright, enough of that. Anyway, let's
Yeah.
call this. Let's summarize all this. My review is it needed more mummy. They literally was like, she's in it for like probably 30% of the movie, which is disappointing considering the film's called The Mummy. And yeah, if you had more of that, I would happily watch The Mummy fight Tom Cruise for the entire movie. That'd have been fun, but they just did not go down that route. So yeah,
Fair point.
And yeah.
I was bored.
She was
I was bored free. Well, yeah, fine. Yeah,
Good.
we can.
Mine is something around miscast, utter bullshit.
Okay, cool. Right, okay, final review. Things get better. Transformers The Last Night. So
Oh,
this
it's
is
so much better, man.
this is
So
the legendary
much better.
series by Sir Michael of Bay. Who's this is his fifth entry. Is it fifth? Yeah, fifth entry into the
You forgot he
awesome.
won Nobel Prize in
Yes,
chemistry and
in
physics.
oh yeah, he was the scientist in Armageddon, by the way, as
Oh,
a
yeah,
cameo
of course he
NASA
was.
scientist. So this is the fourth in the series of Transformers movies. I don't need to go into
Fifth,
this.
mate.
Is it
Not even
fifth?
fourth.
Fifth.
Yeah,
Sorry,
fifth.
fifth. Oh, wow, fifth. So it's Autobots, Optimus Prime. So the story of this one, if there is a story, is Optimus Prime is now bad. He's working for the enemy, and so he is the bad guy. And
Working for the god of
yes,
robots.
yeah, robots, whatever.
I
And
don't
basically,
know how that even
the film is
comes
called The
to
Last
someone's
Night, so he
mind.
has a medieval vibe. So the lore apparently goes back to medieval times. It plays into this whole Merlin, King Arthur route. So this is what the whole Last Night angle comes from, and yeah, so he follows the adventures of what was it, the last Mark Wahlberg's character? I think it's called Cade Yeager,
Cade Yeager.
the worst name in the world. But so he follows him from the last film, and he's adventure fighting the bad guys. So who wants to start on this?
I think I'll start. I think this film.
Wait, before we start, good stuff first. Let's do good stuff.
I mean, that's very difficult, mate, because this film for me was.
I don't know if I have anything.
It's like the visual representation of Shake My Head. This film.
It's this meme.
Everything that happened in the film was like, what's going on?
Wow,
Who made
wow.
that decision?
Oh, we know who made that decision. Sir Michael
Oh, Sir Michael Bay.
Michael.
of Bay.
Sir Michael Bay Dilla, whatever. He's the fifth in throne of the French Empire, I think. Something of that sort.
Okay, you got nothing good to say about it. Fair enough. We'll just...
No, I think the best part about the film was. No, I don't have anything to say.
Okay, I'm gonna say because I wrote the review on it online, so I had to say something good.
Go
So what I got, two good things. What's it called? Dragonstorm. That was amazing. The three-headed dragon robot. Just see that for the entire
Oh,
movie.
yeah, it's
Just
like-
yeah.
It's the five Knights of Iokan.
No, where was? I just want to see that.
300
And Optimus
300
Prime riding that and just
That's
killing.
not good. That was just Shake My Head.
But I'd rather just see that than what followed,
I
basically.
mean, at least Michael Bay does well
Yeah.
is cheesy,
Yeah.
like stand up in the film going, yeah!
Optimus Prime riding a
That's-
three-headed dragon.
Yeah.
Just that's what I want to
Exactly,
see.
Yeah.
And what else did I put here? Yeah, Anthony Hopkins was a laugh. That's because he was having a laugh.
Oh,
Like-
you know his dog is actually a rescued pit bull.
Did you know he had the
Well,
watch that killed Hitler?
That's more interesting than.
Okay, let's go into this film now.
Yeah.
I think the guys, what the director or whoever's writing the whoever's the screenwriter, what they're trying to do is they're thinking of every historical moment that's important in the history of the universe, and then shoehorning the robot thing
You know,
somehow.
Yeah.
They had the moon landing with something to do with robots.
At least the moon animation is in space. I understand
Yeah.
how that happened, but this film goes
Yeah,
into like.
medieval world. Oh, robots were there. That's why King Arthur won on the
Right.
battle.
I'm gonna say one thing. We're gonna go into spoiler territory, but I don't think spoilers are a big part. If we really do
You're
not want to be
watching
spoiled
this,
here,
yeah, you're not watching this film even if someone kills you. So, I mean,
Wow.
we're quite okay.
Oh, good. We're
with
going for
spoiling.
spoilers, right?
Yeah, we're definitely
Yes.
going for
I'm gonna spell it out now because I don't think this is a hilarious film. I think we have to like. There's nothing groundbreaking or mind blowing in this film. So yeah, spoiler alert. So I got so much to get on my chest first, right? I'm going from my list. First things first, just from a direct point of view, the aspect ratio is so annoying. It cuts from widescreen to IMAX in a conversation. Why are you changing?
One conversation.
Why are you changing content like 5 times in a
I
single?
noticed that as well.
I know, Michael, you got 200 million to work with. You couldn't afford another camera.
I wasn't, you know what? I wasn't paying enough attention to notice that.
I was paying. I'm like, why does he constantly doing this for? It's like in the same conversation. You know, like, that was just shoddy. I'm like, come on, man. You were like, that's just bad.
Yeah, you know
From
what
that.
probably happened? They must have had like a dialogue set and they'd filmed them already, and later on
But
realized they
it's
should have
just-
changed those dialogues.
it's just
and
so-
that's why they filmed later time.
Why is the same conversation being filmed? Forget it. Whatever.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's exactly
Right.
what happened.
Secondly, the law is just now destroyed now. Like the background of
Yes.
the Transformers.
Yes, I agree.
So in the first movie, they came from space in the first movie, but now they've been here since the beginning of time.
And Bumblebee was there in
could-
World War II,
Oh yeah.
and they have the watch.
Apparently, everything like the slaves in the American Civil War, Transformers were involved in that to help
Yeah.
the slaves. Like
World War One,
Transformers.
the tank with dementia. What?
World War II, Transformers. In medieval times, they were there pulling the strings. I'm like, what?
The British Empire was created because of Transformers.
Everything was like, I'm like,
That explains it.
I'm like, dude, you're ruining your own movie where Transformers came from Earth. I'm pretty sure Bumblebee arrived in the first movie, right?
Yeah.
From space. So you're ruining your own film. What are you doing here? It's just like, that was bad. Optimus is not even in it. I'm like, dude, Optimus.
I did like the British Transformer Cogman, who was kind of like the
butler.
butler.
He was so
He was sociopathic and hilarious. And I was
Well, he kinda knew his name.
He was just gonna
He was
every
actually
5
quite
minutes
funny,
he was
yeah.
gonna kill Mark Wahlberg, and I thought that was great.
He was like, he knew the film was
He
just.
really should have. Like,
Yeah, I mean it's just Mark Wahlberg playing his normal like I'm gonna shout at everyone and everything for every reason.
oh yeah.
All the time.
He was. One of my things I noticed was he was the biggest child in the film, more than the other children.
More than
He
actual
was
child.
he was bickering with the other 12-year-old. Oh no, why didn't you do
Yeah,
that?
and then
No.
he's like in the junkyard with the Transformers. He's like, "Why are you doing that? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that?"
Shut up, man.
Such a child. He's
Yeah.
like, I
Oh.
don't know how he gets his parts. I really don't.
Pointless characters. Simmons.
Who's Simmons? Oh, he's in Cuba. What the hell? The random fool.
He's in
Remind
Cuba.
me who's-
Why is he there?
John Turturro?
Oh,
John
he's the
Turturro,
guy in
They
the
ran it,
previous
like he
film.
filmed these scenes clearly 6 months earlier. Like his 2 scenes he's in Cuba, and just on them shooting
Oh,
from
I
it.
know who you're talking
Yeah,
about.
like where did he
Yeah,
even come from?
the ex like Sector
Yeah,
7
he
agent.
didn't need to be there.
Didn't
No.
need to be there. Isabella, the child. Isabella with a Z.
I think one of the big mistakes he made here, right, is with Isabella, they had the chance to play different angles. They had like Mark Wahlberg can't talk to his daughter, right? So that's like a plot line from the last film. So now you got another daughter character. Surely they could work that father-daughter
That's
angle there. But she just disappears, and like they just bring in a generic Michael Bay attractive female lead character. It's like, come on, man, he had a chance to.
Yeah.
Because she appeared in promotional material quite a lot in the trailers. Like
Yeah.
she's gonna be quite important. So I thought, okay, maybe Mark Wahlberg and her will develop
That
something.
blonde that comes down.
And that would have been a different spin at least on what he usually does. But she just disappears. So
Yeah.
most of them.
She was in that initial scene in the like no-go zone.
Yeah, that was kind of
Yeah,
that's
but-
something different. They're gonna follow her and Mark Wahlberg. He can't speak to his daughter. There's a new daughter character. Let's
Yeah,
see.
she doesn't have a family.
Exactly. He wants a family. Like, okay, fair enough. But no, he choked and he went on to the whole.
Yeah.
Oh no, actually.
By the way, the actress name is also named
Isabella.
Isabella.
Is it with a Z? though?
No.
It's
not.
not with a Z.
Who else? The Jimmy from the junkyard as well, like the guy who was looking after the Transformers when Mark Wahlberg wasn't there. What was he
yeah.
there for? What was?
And then such odd, you know, when he gets shot. Oh, I'm dying. You remember that scene?
Yeah. It's like
Such
it was like a
shoehorned
beanbag.
comedy. It was
It's
so
it's
terrible.
just bad. It's just my list goes on, man. I don't want to drain on it too
Yeah,
much.
there is
but,
really nothing to say. I mean, it really was the most.
Anthony
unreal-
Hopkins really was the best part of the film. He was just having a
Yeah,
blast,
he was great.
telling him to shut up. But
Yeah.
Prime
Did
Minister,
you
shut up.
notice
I'm
it
the,
was-
shut up. You
I'm
just
the Lord.
then he goes. The one scene that made me laugh is like when he's in the Prime Minister's office and he goes, "Shut up! I've got the watch that killed Hitler." I'm like, what? What?
Yeah.
Where did this come from? And he goes, "Shut! I'll kill you all. I've got the
I will
watch."
kill everyone in this room. He's holding up this watch. You're like,
Oh, where did the watch come from? How did it kill Hitler? Where did Hitler come in on this?
did you notice the film in general was a bit more like they were using a lot more swear words? It was a bit more rude. There was like a bit where
I
Anthony
think
Hopkins
the
gave the police
kids-
the finger.
Oh, yeah,
Kids
because
were
that's
swearing
what
a
makes
lot.
it a serious film.
But
Yeah.
Michael-
Otherwise, how
Michael
would
Bay
you know it's
thinks-
a serious film?
Exactly.
See, Michael Bay thinks this is funny. Like, a lot of the kids were swearing. I'm like, there's a lot of young kids in the theater because it's 12A. A lot of kids on the summer break. I'm like, why the kid like? I can understand Mark Wahlberg like saying a swear every now and again, but you got the 12-year-old kids, the extras, they're swearing and something. That's not cool, man.
And
Well, the thing is, Go on,
sorry, trying to make all the Autobots and Decepticons talk really young and hip, like, I'm gonna kill you all, and I'm like,
but that's so realistic, right? Because that's what an alien would do when they come to Earth. That's what they'll do. Like they'll pick up the culture of the Japanese robot picks up the Japanese culture.
yeah.
Give Michael Bay credit, right? At least the Japanese robot wasn't. No. At least the Japanese robot wasn't a Japanese car. I mean, at least he had the decency to not just stereotype him as a Japanese.
That's because some Japanese car company sponsored them, not for any other reason.
No, it was a Mercedes.
Not
It was a Mercedes. It wasn't like a Japanese car. At least Michael Bay wasn't that obvious with his. Because he has a tendency to be like just putting racial jokes and thinks it's funny.
Well, Michael Bay is himself a 12-year-old, isn't he?
Yeah.
In his brain, he's a 12-year-old. In his head, he's probably one of the best directors.
I mean, end of the day, right? This movie, if it just was Autobots fighting Decepticons on a planet, Michael Bay could do that amazingly. But he tries to put in this whole lore and storyline, and the humans are not needed.
Intertwine it with
Humans are not needed in this movie. I mean, they could be there as a entry point for the audience to understand, but they shouldn't be the important aspect of the movie. They should not be
the secret society of Witwickens.
Yeah, apparently Sam Witwick is now dead. I'm like, what? How did he die? Like his family, everyone's dead. Like they're all gone. I'm like, what? Like, how did they all die? Like, they don't explain that. Like, it's just.
And they just it's packing too much into the same film. You're trying to go through this entire lore. You're trying to entwine the Autobots with the human history. And then the end is just really
We'll do it all over again. It's like we'll do it all over again.
Yeah, exactly. It's massive sequel baiting right at the end. And then when Prime comes in and he's fighting everyone, he's like, I will kill you.
Where was
he's
all
like,
the
but
fight?
I'm your friend. And it's like, done. I'm good now.
I'm
good again.
He had a Martha moment basically. Martha, and he suddenly became good. So,
Martha, it was a Martha. Don't bring up Batman v Superman again. Stop it.
One thing, one of the huge things that I just find hilarious is when Optimus Prime and Megatron are fighting on the ship, right? So Optimus Prime kicks him out of the ship. Yeah. You didn't finish watching the movie, did you? So you don't know.
I walked out.
Yeah, so
it was,
they're having a fight,
too
right?
Too much to take.
Optimus Prime kicks Megatron out, so he falls down. But Megatron can fly. That doesn't mean he's gone. And that's it. Megatron just goes. I'm thinking, what?
And that's it.
He just disappears. That's it. He kicks him out.
Really, that's it.
Megatron fly. He's gone. But I'm like, he can fly. Like that doesn't mean jack.
I'll come back another day.
Yeah, he's just like, okay, I'm gone. I'm checking out my.
And then how does there's a bit where Mark Wahlberg picks up a sword. And then he manages to stop the sword of one of the Knights of Icon, and you're like, how? How do you withstand a blow from a transformer
with a huge sword?
With a massive sword.
He works out, He goes to the gym.
Nobody works out that much.
He's pretty strong. He's like the strongest human.
I don't care what your gains are.
If you don't agree, he's gonna be.
I mean, speaking of what Michael Bay thinks is funny, is like. I thought he kind of, he's got the weird Larry, he tries to leer on all the women in his previous movies, and he kind of toned back on it on this.
Michael Bay the pervert.
Yes. So I thought in this movie, okay, fair enough, at least he's not going to...
that's his alter ego.
What he does is the Vivian, she's supposed to be like this modest, intellectual, smart woman.
She's a professor at
Oxford. She's a professor at Oxford, right? Yeah. So, she gets kidnapped, she gets taken to Anthony Hopkins' place, so does Mark Wahlberg. Yeah. So then she suddenly randomly appears in a tight dress and heels, and both Anthony Hopkins and Mark Wahlberg just diss her for dressing like that. I'm like, where did that come from? Like, why is she in that dress for when that's not in her character? She was kidnapped, so she wouldn't have got that dress anyway. It's just an excuse to just cuss her. I'm like, why?
Like anti-Pat Jenkins.
Yeah, so it's just
Michael Bay had done Wonder Woman.
So Michael Bay just thought, it'd be funny if I just bring her in and we just cuss her in this scene. I'm like, that's why? Like, there's no need for that. But
she's the dress that she's wearing. They keep on calling it a stripper dress. I'm like, well, that's because half of her bra is
showing.
No,
but it's the fact though,
why is that necessary?
But it's the fact though, why would she have that outfit? Because she was kidnapped from her work, so she wouldn't even have that dress on her.
Well, Michael Bay needed to do it. He's married, right? He can't.
Right.
Do
okay. Let's end this slaughter of Michael Bay. I'm not even gonna give it a review. I'm saying,
just stop.
It's not worth.
Michael. Just stop.
Just
stop, as in filming.
To be honest, he's apparently gonna stop and give the reins to someone else, but that's just a rumor. But the rumors are quite strong.
This film, they've signed 12 Transformers films, so this is the 5th in the row. They've still got 7 more to go.
I think if they get somebody who actually cares about this franchise,
no one cares about this film.
No, but if a director came actually cared about the Transformers series and they grew up with it.
I guess if you enjoy the mindless explosions, and if you like the whole idea, because I don't even think the fans of the like original Transformers, I think they've lost faith in this as well.
But like I said,
yeah, I think the first Transformers film was okay.
Yeah, that was I
That's
really liked
because
that.
That's because they focused on like the robots rather than the stupid.
and it's straightforward. Optimus versus Megatron. That was the story.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah.
In fact, if you ever want to watch a good Transformers film, watch the animated Transformers films from the 90s.
1980s.
Yeah.
Like there was one in 1986
No,
that
I think
watched.
the one around War for Cybertron, that's the one. I really enjoyed that. That was a really good film.
Fair enough.
Obviously better than any of the other Transformers live action ones.
Okay.
But yeah, that's just my recommendation.
Right. So that brings us to an end of the review. Briefly got 5 more minutes left. So we have a quick recap of the year so far. So it's July now. Oof.
Yeah.
Half of 2017.
Halfway through the year.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean,
And what a year this has been.
yeah. So let's have a quick recap. Not take too long on this. The best films of the year. What you personally enjoyed. So
this year has been terrible in terms of film. One of the worst, I think, since 2003 or so, when there were no good films. I didn't enjoy almost any of the film other than, and these are the best films.
okay,
for me.
what have you got?
John Wick 2.
Love that.
Fantastic.
It's my film of the year.
I watched it.
I missed that one.
Watch
sorry.
it. It is.
I watched it thrice in the film in
Yeah.
the theater. You
It's
should definitely
I
buy it.
loved
Blu-ray.
the first
It's
one,
even
so I
better,
really
yeah.
wanted
Second
to
one
catch up.
ups every aspect of the film, of
Good.
the first one.
Yep.
Everything
Glad.
about the second one is better than the first, and so that
Yeah,
says
definitely.
something. Yeah.
What else?
So John Wick 2, Get Out.
Yeah, I got Get Out as
I
well.
thought that was amazing. That was a really good.
I didn't expect it
fresh
from Jordan
breath of
Peele.
fresh air.
Didn't expect it from Jordan Peele.
Yeah.
A comedian coming this
Very much
Excellent.
so. Very much so.
like comedy / satire of
How well he directed the film, and so much nuance to the racism issues that went in there.
Logan.
And third,
Logan. We gotta say Logan, man. That
Third
is
is Logan. Yeah.
I have an issue.
with,
I
with what?
with Logan.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
No,
Go
wait.
ahead.
Hear me out.
Yeah.
I can't decide what they're doing with these movies. Like, I don't get it. The continuity is just not there. Like
Logan
they
doesn't break the continuity though.
You mean like you mean the X-Men in general?
yeah.
Yeah, X-Men in general is that's another
It's
story
all
though.
over the place. They just
Is it-
keep on making movies and
Yeah.
it's just not they're not falling into place. For
I
me.
think in general
think-
that's more of a problem with the X-Men universe in general, but I think
Yeah.
that's like a
I
different.
thought it was a really good film.
Yeah, I think
Except for
that's
the
a
fact
standalone.
that with his relationship with
yeah.
X no with
23.
X23 is a similar relationship he had with Rogue. It's like he picks her up, don't care about you, don't care about you, don't care about you. Gets to the end of film, I care about you. It's a kind of regurgitation of that relationship. And I picked that. I was like,
Well
you know what?
spotted. Yeah, well spotted. Yeah.
But the rest of it, I really enjoyed. And that the child,
Yeah,
she was nuts.
yeah, I
She
mean,
was a star in the. She's a star in the making.
I was
Yeah,
seeing like
definitely.
I was seeing like the behind the scenes of her. I mean, it takes a lot of intensity for a kid to act like that, like all the yelling and shouting and like. I mean, that's not easy to do even as a grown adult, like
it's
doing that
easy-
stuff.
It's
Yeah.
easy to overdo it.
Yeah.
And she
Yeah.
had the she did it in a very sublime manner that meant that she was putting out the right emotions. She had very difficult role to play. Like her
Yeah.
emotions in the film, it could have easily been ruined by a lesser actress.
Yeah.
She did amazingly. She did best among all the actors and actresses I've seen
Definitely.
So I think
this
what
year.
we need to do is like separate the Wolverine films
Yeah,
from like
X-Men.
the X-Men films.
But I think
Is that
X-Men
what
is
we're
another.
doing?
Yeah, X-Men films they're just all over the place. I'm not even after Apocalypse. I don't even care anymore. But
Like
let's not go on that tangent.
But they've like created a new timeline in a similar way that Star Trek did, but they've messed that up as well.
Yeah,
I
they
don't
just.
get it.
I don't think they really know what they're doing with that. But let's not go into that. So
Yeah.
for now.
Logan was good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I've got one thing. I like Lego Batman. I think that was hilarious. I think that was one of the funniest
I really,
movies.
really liked it.
I didn't expect much from it, but it was just knocking out jokes throughout the entire movie. And it was taking jokes at everything. It was breaking the fourth wall. It was even taking disses at DC itself. And I think, I don't want to ramble on and on, but that was definitely for sure one of my best movies.
Yeah.
You have anything to add to our list, Alenya? before we-
I've got something to add with Lego Batman. I really, really enjoyed it, and I actually got while I was away, someone I met introduced me to the Batman: The Dark Knight Returns Part 1 and 2. It's an
the
animated one. Amazing.
Amazing, yeah.
So, like, everyone wants a bit more on the relationship between Batman and Superman and between the relationship of Batman and Joker.
Yeah.
And that animation really delves into it, even though it's an animation. Like, it's kind of like The Killing Joke. in that it's an animation. You don't expect a lot from it, but it really goes into it, and it was really, really good.
In fact, I'll add to that, and I'll say that DC is very good in its animated universe.
Yeah.
In fact, they've got some very, very good people in the animated universe running the show, but the cinematic universe is run by different people, and they're just not competent enough.
Yeah.
So I've actually seen all the DC animated universe movies.
You should make a post about that and share it online.
I could,
Let people
I would highly recommend the films that Alenya just said. What was the name again?
Batman: The Dark Knight
The Dark Knight
Returns,
Returns.
Part 1 and Part 2. I think
Part
it's from 2012.
Yeah. Part 1 is around a villain, and Part 2 is around actually the
Batman and Superman.
Batman and Superman. So it's actually Batman versus Superman, and you'll see there how much of a better film that could have been.
Yeah, and the relationship between Batman and Joker that they talk about in the Lego Batman movie, it extends on that as well.
That so
and is it a better Joker than the Suicide Squad one?
Yes.
Oh, in fact, the DC animated universe Suicide Squad film is also much better. They did a Suicide Squad film as a primer to the main Suicide Squad film.
That was the one thing I need to get this off my chest. In Transformers, they do a random Suicide Squad like homage thing, and that was so random.
Did they?
Yes, they introduced some of the bad robots in the Suicide Squad way. I'm like, why did you do that for?
And it freezes on them, their names plastered across Mohawk, and you're like,
right, Berserker.
Who are you?
I'm sorry, I have to go back to Transformers, but
Who are you?
Michael Bay said that looked cool. Let's put that in my film. So
even worse, they show Berserker and then never bring Berserker up later.
Yeah, but then back on Lego Batman,
Michael Bay's specialist is just dominating the show, man. Sorry about that. You said Suicide. I said Suicide Squad. It's reminding me.
Yeah, but then Lego Batman explores, even though it feels like just a massive piss take of everything, it explores his loneliness and his isolation. Yeah. Even though it makes a bit of a joke about it, and you're like, actually, that's what I'm saying.
It's also deep as well as it is funny, but yeah. And I think
true. Good film, very good film.
And before we round it all off, just want to say worst film of the year so far.
Sorry, I have to add. I liked Split and I like Guardians. I'm sorry.
Oh, fair enough. Split was great.
Yeah.
I think for Guardians, I love Guardians, but I think it just wasn't as groundbreaking as the first one. So it's kind of like it's great.
I mean, for me, I didn't see Get Out. I didn't see John Wick 2.
Oh, no wonder you don't have them in the top.
But she's got a lot. Come on, she's away for 7 months, man. You've got a lot to catch up on.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, even though I was away, I saw Guardians 3 times, and I saw the midnight release of it in Borneo.
I saw your Instagram.
2 days before it came out.
I saw on Instagram, like, I hate you.
Yeah.
Cool, that's pretty cool.
So yeah, before we call it wraps, just one worst of the year so far. Rings, horrible.
Yours is Rings.
Rings.
Mine's is Transformers.
Okay.
Alien Covenant.
Oh wow, yeah, that was.
The worst thing is I defended it before it came out.
Defended it.
Yeah, no. Before it came out, people were like, "Oh no, it's going to be really bad." Yeah, and I was like, they were saying the trailer didn't reveal very much. I'm like, no, that's a good thing. You want it a bit suspenseful because it's supposed to be a thriller. It's supposed to be a bit of a horror. It's supposed to have suspense in there. And I defended it as like, no, it's going to be good. It's going to, join the points.
If you like Michael Fassbender, you love this film because he's everywhere. It should be called Fassbender Covenant, featuring Fassbender.
I mean, David and Walter are really good characters.
You mean Fassbender and Fassbender?
Fassbender.
Maybe all Fassbender.
But I watched it in Dolby Atmos and the D-box seat, where it moves around.
What a waste.
What a waste of my... I was so disappointed, and it doesn't really add up because I also went back and watched Prometheus again. And I mean, I think Prometheus is better. And
that is saying something.
And that's saying something.
That is saying something. I thought so as well.
Prometheus bored me so much. He's drone and on and on and on and on.
But at least it had a purpose. At least it knew where it was going. Covenant didn't know what it was doing with it.
And the plot twist at the end, I knew it was coming. We all knew it was happening. And they still went, come on, man.
There was just always something happening. And there was no suspense. And the
Elena's had this rat piled up for a while, man. I think she's like... I think next show we'll give you your own Covenant slot so you can just...
holding this for 7 months.
7 months!
You go to London, be on camera, tell everyone how much I hate Alien Covenant.
Fassbender Covenant.
Yeah, because there was things where I rewatched the episode where you talked about it, and there were a couple of things that you said that were wrong about it as well, and I was like, oh my god, no, it's not right.
No, you remembered. Don't worry, you can the next episode we'll give you a little dedicated slot to just rain up on that. But anyway, I think that's about that. I mean, thanks for joining us, and hopefully we'll get this on a more regular basis now. Stay tuned, and we'll have more plans for the show. So take care and have a good day. Bye.